Do you understand exactly what your most visible executives are doing? And it's not just what they're doing either anonymously or on behalf of the company, but it's also what they're doing even on their personal accounts. And there was another example just, I think, a few months ago that the Wall Street Journal wrote up. The CFO of a high-end or retail company in the US just was sort of a really snarky guy, obviously not really happy. And he both tweeted and had a Facebook page where he was complaining about the board of directors, where he was saying things like, he tweeted out once, board meeting, good numbers equal happy board equals happy board, which, you know, is maybe if you were 20 and didn't understand, at least in the US, fair disclosure laws, but they hadn't announced earnings yet. He's the CFO, and he is in effect, you know, leaking this information. So as I said, I would be the downer and talking about the risks, but these things are happening. So one of the things you can do at the top here is sort of understand how the employees are using social media at work and what the policies are and how they're being trained on it. And just try and get a sense for whether or not those are going to protect the company. At PwC, at least in the United States, we have mandated annual training. And for example, one of the things that we say to our staff, or we train them on, is to be really careful even when they're changing their status on their Facebook accounts. And we give the example that if your transaction services in a certain industry, and your friends know that, or maybe even your Facebook page says that, and then you say, well, I'm going to go to work in Atlanta for 6 weeks, your friends and other people can put 2 and 2 together and sort of get an idea of what company may be in play. So we're trying to just keep and make our employees far more sensitive to what they say, even when they think it's innocuous, because millennials don't understand the concept of privacy, apparently. But, and just another example, I was on a panel about a month ago with a lawyer from Silicon Valley, and he was telling the story that Silicon Valley, there was an article that was written about a company that talked about its product and was very high on the product, and then sort of gave an estimate that the company would do really well, have a really good quarter. And one of the engineers from the company read the article and liked it. And then when it came out that their earnings disappointed, people were all over her. They knew she was an engineer with the company, and the company had to do this whole investigation over, did she know the numbers? Was she trying to mislead the street? You know, and they eventually proved she had no idea what the numbers are. She'd liked the article because it was high on the product. But there are all these sort of kinds of things that you don't think of, because especially liking something is almost ubiquitous these days, and people don't necessarily understand the implications.